first song we're playing is by a group from Australia, way down under. This is Patsy and Dave, Dream Vacation.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Please bring your seats to the full upright position. And we'd like to thank you for flying Slumber Time Airlines.
Every night before I go to sleep, I put my flip-flops on, 'cause I know I'll head straight for the beach when the Sandman comes along. I close my eyes and the bartender pours me a grande margarita, a little moonlight dancing, hot romancing with a beautiful senorita. It's a dream vacation, an all-night ticket to a tropical destination. Puerto Rico or Brazil, but I always seem to drift into a bikini bar and grill. When that alarm starts ringing over the singing, giving me last call, I tell sweet Lolina, Selena and Rita, buenos noches, mañana y'all. It's a dream vacation, to a tropical destination, a holiday trip inside my head, and I don't even have to leave my bed. It's a dream vacation.
This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast, interviewing people from all walks of life, having fun, encouraging, uplifting conversations, with great music as well. Kick back and relax. This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast. Hello and welcome to Chit and Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast. I'm your host, Jody Sheffield. So glad you're here for another episode. Maybe it's your first time. Maybe it's your 142 time. I've had 142 episodes. Actually, this will be 142. Got a great show lineup for you today, and great music as well, featuring music by Patsy and Dave, formerly known as The Long and Short of It, a group from Australia. Their song was in the opener, Dream Vacation. I like that song. Good video as well. We got Rocky Michaels with a brand new song called Heroes. Good song as well. Then we have lined up Mr. Justin Sexton. He is actually from the state I was born and raised in, Arkansas. We're playing his song, Average Hillbilly. And two more songs today by my guests who'll be on. They are called Doors Don't Close and Whiskey Kisses. Maybe you know who she is. But she has been on over 1,000 stages. and toured with some amazing people like Casey McGraves, Jake Owens, and my favorite groups, Diamond Rio. Born in Nebraska, raised in Washington State, and now lives in Nashville, Tennessee. She's been called the next Shania Twain, and one of her personal favorite names she's been called Garth Brooks in a skirt. She grew up on country jazz, classical, and Motown, but Carrie Cunningham has created her own style. I'm so excited to hear more about her and her story, and hope you enjoyed as well. So kick back, relax. Welcome, Carrie Cunningham, to Chit and Chat, the encouraging one another podcast. What's always about encouraging others. How are you today?
Well, it's kind of like it's an allergy day today. There's something in the air. It's been burning my eyes all day, and I had my contacts in. I'm like, this is not going to work. So I switched over to my glasses, and it doesn't seem to be helping too much. Kind of makes me feel like I need to just either drink a bottle of vodka or B, go to bed. I don't know.
You can do both.
I could do both because one will make the other one come a lot quicker.
That is true. Well, welcome to Chit and Chat. I'm excited to talk to you. I've been following your music and can't wait to kind of share your story with my listeners. So welcome to Chit and Chat.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on. This is exciting.
Before we dive into some fun conversations, I love kind of tossing some icebreakers at my guests. There's no right or wrong answer, just kind of whatever tops on top of your head what you want to answer. The first one is, if you were to write an autobiography about your life, your musical career, what would the name of your autobiography be, and why that particular name?
Oh, geez.
I love I get OGs.
Yeah.
Catch them off guard.
Yeah. I instantly start thinking of Pam Tillis' song "Mi Vida Loca."
Okay.
My crazy life. That would definitely be the title. Um, I was going to start a podcast a couple years ago called "My Date with Frank,"
Okay.
and my date with Frank is really is personifying my fear throughout life, and I would have on people that have overcome their fears and challenges in life, and so yeah, so it probably would be called My Date with Frank.
There you go. That's a very unique name of an autobiography for sure.
Yeah, well, when you personify your, your um a specific emotion. And I didn't even call him Frank. That's what he called himself. I'm not cuckoo, just so you know. I'm not cuckoo.
Hey, yeah, I'm a little. My wife shakes her head a lot around when I'm around her, and she's just you're just weird. I'm like, that's a trait I have is a weirdness, so it's okay. Number two, if you weren't a musician, what other job occupation would you be doing full time?
Oh gosh. Well, I would probably do what I'm kind of doing part-time, and that means I'm a benefit auctioneer. So,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so I like well, music got me um I started off in music because it kind of like saved my life, and because it was a pretty crazy life growing up, and about 2018 I felt like I needed to just be reaching out to people a little bit more. And I had been part of CASA and Big Brothers and Big Sisters and Read Across America, but I felt like I wasn't doing enough, of which I wasn't, because I was, burning candle at both ends, trying to help people and be this country singer, songwriter, being on the road and everything. And in 2018, I decided I was going to slow it down just a little bit and go a little bit more on my philanthropy side,
Okay.
and I went to school to become a benefit auctioneer, and my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they were both cattle auctioneers, so it was a kind of a nice choice, nice transition for
Mm.
me to, still be on stage and give back in a different way.
I've seen a few of those on TV or whatever, scrolling the channels, and that's a very unique position. I mean, you're just kind of rambling, but it's very understandable for the most part.
There's a method to the rambling, to the chanting, yes, yes.
Did you get trained for that? You just kind of learn from your relatives to kind of watch them and kind of just picked up the trait.
Well, I went to school for it. I
Okay.
definitely went to school for it. And it's interesting when I was at school for it. I went in Mason City, Iowa, at Worldwide College of Auctioneering, and when we were going through our different chants through numbers, et cetera, when we hit the fives, when you count by fives, which you feel like you're going back to school, right? You're counting from 1 to 100, then you're going in fives, then you're going in tens. Um, etc. But it's important because you have to know how to go forward and backwards on a blink and quarters and halves. Because if somebody doesn't want a certain dollar amount, you have to go backwards.
Okay.
And so while we were working on our fives, I was like, oh, I know this chant. Like I always thought that everybody did their, fives in a rhythmic pattern because that's how
Mhm.
I was raised growing up. It's like,
Oh,
I'm gonna bid 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and that's the way I heard it growing up, and so when I was doing it in school, I'm like, "Isn't this how everybody does their fives?"
I did not know there was a school for that. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's a couple throughout the US for auctioneering, and then there's a very small fraction of us that are actually benefit auctioneers,
Okay.
where we focus on fundraising versus cattle or storage wars or automobiles or art.
Okay.
We're in the market for raising funds for people
Big
that are in need,
big
nonprofits that are in need
process.
fundraising.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Cool. Number three, who has been the most influential person around you growing up, and why that particular person?
Okay. Well, her name was Marilyn. Marilyn Harrison. She was this cute little lady when I worked at Albertsons as a courtesy clerk or a checker, I guess. No, a bag boy, I guess is what you call them back nowadays, a bag boy or a bag girl. Um, I was working at Albertsons when I was 16, and during that time frame, I was also doing my music and doing like Colgate Country Showdown, stuff like that. And she was one of my biggest supporters, and she would go and she'd make these posters for me and help design my stage clothes. And I was in a very rough situation growing up, and
Mm.
I had a Cinderella or I was a Cinderella for an evil stepmom, and so she kind of took me under her wing. She became kind of like my surrogate mother, and she was the best thing for me. She's the reason I'm still here,
Wow,
probably. You
that's
know?
awesome. That's
She's no
awesome.
longer here with us, and, when she passed, it literally took me a full year to be able to say her name without crying. It
Mm.
could not come out of my mouth, and so sh it was definitely her.
Wow, that's cool. If you had three words that would best describe you, what would they be?
Um, well, a dreamer, very charismatic, and loving.
Okay. That's why a dreamer? That you just kind of progress over the years in being a musician and kind of getting your music out there and just kind of, if you don't dream, you don't go anywhere, correct?
Yeah, and I feel like I am a constant learner.
Mm.
I feel like I have to just keep improving myself as the years go by, no matter what industry I'm in, whether it's in auctioneering or whether it's in music, I just feel like I have to just keep improving in all aspects. And for a while, I knew that it was because I felt like I had something to prove because of the way I was raised. But then I realized that it shouldn't be to prove it to anybody, but to just to make myself happy. And once you start doing that mind shift and go, you know what, I am happy that I am a dreamer, a constant dreamer or a goal seeker. It just makes me happy with myself. Sometimes I can get down and go, I'm not there. I'm never and nothing's ever going to be good enough. But
Hmm.
again, have to just keep that mind in a positive aspect versus a negative.
Right, right, yep. But when you start, kind of degrading yourself, you kind of take all the great things you're doing, and just kind of the one negative makes it feels worse.
Yeah,
So,
and it's so true. It's so true when people say you can get 1,000 compliments, but one person says
hmm
something negative, and that's what your body holds on to. It's
yeah.
true.
What is your favorite meal and dessert?
Ooh. Well, I'm a foodie. I love food. And
Yay!
so this is a kind of a tough question for me. Um,
Didn't say they were easy.
I know, thanks. Geez. I would have to say, ooh, it's so tough.
Should I get some
Um,
Jeopardy music
like
for you?
I love Greek food and I love like Kurdish food. Um, and well, you know what? My husband makes this amazing beef stroganoff. Like I could tell him just make a big pot of the sauce and I'll just drink it on a daily basis. Um, so
That does sound good.
it's very
I
good.
use the bread to kind of sop it up a little bit too, though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
That, that
I
sounds awesome.
think yeah, and that's actually a really, really tough question for me because I do love food. There's not actually any food that I don't like. Like, my husband makes lengua tacos, which is tongue, cow tongue, and it's so good. So, yeah.
Mm,
As far as my dessert goes, though, I'm a carrot cake girl.
okay, okay, there you go. That
Yeah.
sounds that's yeah. I love carrot cake. I love chocolate pie. Yeah, it's getting me hungry now.
I
Sure.
know, right? I'm gonna have to go find myself some. Well, you said chocolate pie, and my brain instantly went to, like, German chocolate cake.
Yeah. My
So
my wife's my aunt and I, when I was little, would always fight over the last piece, and basically it was like chocolate pudding and a graham cracker pie crust, and that's set.
yes.
Oh
Mhm.
my goodness, I'd get the last one. She gets so mad at me, Aunt Linda. Oh my goodness, I'm sure she's listening. But I got yelled many times as a kid to get the last piece of chocolate pie.
Oh, that's awesome.
You would mind sharing a little about yourself and where you're from, and so people can know who I'm talking to? Carrie Cunningham here today.
Yeah. So my name is Carrie Cunningham, and I currently reside in two places, Nashville, Tennessee, and Huntington Beach, California. I have the best of both worlds, country music and the ocean.
Mm,
Um, I lived in Nebraska. I was born in Nebraska. Go Big Red. I'm a fellow Cornhusker. And then I transplanted over into Washington State,
that's
where
it.
I spent,
Yeah, Husky
yeah,
Seahawks.
yep, yep. I love the state of Washington. I lived all over in Washington, Spokane, Seattle, Vancouver. I hit all three corners of the state except for the southeast part of it. But yeah, I started out in music technically back when I was living in Nebraska because I got my first clock radio for my 8th birthday and I fell asleep listening to it every night. And that's really what got me going, um, with the imagery of Hall& and Oates with Maneater,
Mm,
and then, especially because, the stations in Nebraska at that time, played all genres. It was like a Charlie FM, it was not genre specific. So I got a good mix of all kinds of music, and that's what got me started on the path of
Nice.
listening to music, and, I didn't really settle down into country music until I was older, till '90s country kinda hit,
Okay.
and then I really fell in love with it, but before that, my country music that I was listening to prior to that was, stuff that my parents were playing, like Alabama and Kenny Rogers
Okay.
and Dottie
Good.
West, those and Barbara Mandrell. I can't forget Barbara Mandrell because we used to, watch the Mandrell sisters, and so I would have to say I tell people that the women that got me into country music was Reba McEntire and Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters.
Wow.
And then the women that got me into music would be those 2 plus Donna Summer and Diana Ross and the Supremes. Those are my women.
That's awesome. A few months ago, I had a guest on Marie Norris, and she was very inspired by Barbara Mandrell. Her music really helped her through some hard times she had faced. She had a tough upbringing, and watching that show and her music, and she's never met her yet. And I'm hoping one day she can meet Barbara. But she wrote a song about Barbara, and I always think about her. I hear Barbara Mandrell come up. I always think about her, and hoping one day Marie can meet Barbara Mandrell.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list too, is just to be able to meet her, but she doesn't come out very often.
No.
Yeah, one of my mentors is good friends with her, and she's like, "That's gonna be a tough ask, Carrie." And I'm like, "Okay."
Just hey, you're a dreamer. Keep dreaming.
That's
It might
right.
happen.
That's right.
Is it? I love doing research about you. I found out all the cool things about you. I found that you're a mystical chameleon, and you have a couple of nicknames: the next Shania Twain or Garth Brooks in a skirt.
Yeah.
How'd you get those nicknames?
My stage presence.
Okay.
People yeah, especially up in the Northwest, and I just get into it so much, and when I'm really in a zone, you better watch out what comes. I have no control over what comes out of my mouth on stage or what action I'm gonna take, and so, yeah, I definitely, uh, adhere to that quote of me being Garth Brooks in a skirt. There's a photo that I still have, and it floats around every once in a while, but I was playing the Vancouver rodeo, and they had this big circle. I don't even know what it's called, but you kinda get in it, and they strap you in, and they kinda spin you around, and you can go upside down and, just this topsy-turvy thing, and somebody had dared me to get in there and sing, and so there's this awesome photo of me holding on, strapped in, upside down, and I'm singing "Crazy" while I'm doing it. It's such a great photo, and it was a perfect example of just the stuff that I do that helped me earn my reputation of such things, so
Nice. That's pretty cool. Uh, so when you really began, was singing, was music kind of your remedy? It kind of healed you, stuff you faced, and how important was you hear music is heals, music is soothing. How important was music for you as you were kind of growing up and some stuff you'd faced?
it was very important. Um, it was healing. It was very healing, and, I'm anybody that does any research on me, I kinda don't I really don't hold back anything. I just
Mhm.
tell it like it is, and, when I was, uh, listening to Maneater back then, there was a lot of, sexual trauma that was happening to me at that particular moment in my life, and so just being able to see in my little brain at the time of imagining a woman turning into a tiger and then attacking men, and that's what I wanted to do. Like,
Mm.
I wanted to turn into a tiger and just attack anybody that was hurting me, and, and it just kinda stuck with me, and when we were transferring around, moving from like Nebraska to Washington and stuff, I was bullied a lot. I was an ugly kid. Um, I just had like a short hair with a rat tail and these low income glasses and government glasses, I guess. You have government cheese, you have government glasses. And
Yes, yeah.
and and so I was always just being made fun of. And I remember the sixth grade teacher, she's like, "Well, you're getting ready to go into middle school. What would you like to do?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." And she says, "Well, what do you like to do?"
Mm.
And I'm like, "Well, I like to sing." And she's like, "Well, why don't you join the choir?" She's like, "You'll get to meet some friends and it could really help you out." And it did. Like, it was so that was probably one of the best advices from any teacher was for me to join a choir when I started middle school or junior high. And it just it just kept me going ever since then. And it was a way to escape reality. And a lot of people say they're like, "You look so young, blah blah blah," or whatever. I'm not telling you how young I am, but
I would
people
ask either.
but people would they're just like, "How do you look like you never age?" And honestly, outside of water and trying to take care of yourself, because I had a lot of stress, I think being able to sing and release all those toxins
Mm,
really helped me. And, so, yeah, music has just been a lifesaver my whole life. And I don't know what I would honestly, like I said, I'm a benefit auctioneer now, but if I had started out as anything other than a singer, who knows? Like, who knows where my path would have taken me
mhm,
if it hadn't started so young ago. If it hadn't started when I was 8 years old, honestly. And then, when I come 5th grade with my stepmom, eh, with all the horror stories I have for her, I do have to thank her for. Like, I'd have to get up and I would do her hair and her makeup for her before she would get ready for work and stuff. But I remember one time there was a moment where she would put on the record player, and Sylvia, I don't know if anybody knows who Sylvia is out there, but she sang this beautiful song called Whippoorwill. And it was
mhm.
just so beautiful. And I just remember singing along to that song and curling my stepmom's hair. And, there's a line in there that says, "Whippoorwill, your song's as sad as mine. It's gonna be a long, long night tonight." And that was my story, growing up. And so if it hadn't been for music, who's to say where I'd be right now?
Right. And God's put people on your path, I think, to kind of push you toward music. And you never know. I look back sometimes the people, the left turns and right turns in life I took, and I'm like, that's funny. I'm here. God knew that thousands of years ago. He knew where the path that I'd be, and so I think that people
Yeah,
are in your life, kind of dot to dot, and he kind of lead you where He wants you.
absolutely.
Um,
I can
and
definitely
music
back
is therapy. What'd you say? Excuse me.
I can definitely back that up. Yep.
And music is really a therapy for a lot of people. I mean, I've in the hospitals and just it heals. It helps. It puts a smile on someone's face. It relaxes you. I love the older I get. And I'm 53. I don't mind sharing my age. I'm old. I love instrumental music and just kind of just throwing some classical on, just some creek. I think of a driving music, relaxing music. So I'm like, I can just kind of chill to that. So it really
Yeah,
helps me in different ways, the stress. So that's kind of how I love music.
absolutely. And I think that if anybody, is like, "Oh, I only listen to country music, and I only listen to traditional country music," well, then I think that they're really missing out
Hmm.
because there's so much great music out there, in different genres. And I mean, I guess because I grew up with so many different genres listening to the radio that I might feel partial to that. But I can't tell you how many times, like, I wanna be listening to classical music, or I wanna be listening to Leon Bridges as I'm driving into LA, because he's the only thing that keeps me sane when I'm hitting LA traffic, you know? So So
Do
it's
you
a
recall the very first song you wrote?
yes, I do. It was called "Go Where Nowhere Begins."
That's a deep one there.
Yeah.
I like the title.
Thank you. Thank you, thank
Uh,
you.
have you performed it at all? Or I know some
I did
musicians have
back
never.
in the day. Yeah,
Okay.
back in the day, I r I actually recorded it back in oh gosh, um, in the early 2000s. I
Okay.
recorded it. That stuff's not out in streaming platforms anywhere because that's how old it is. It was in the CD format, but, a few diehard fans still have that album. 'Cause every once in a while, somebody will bring up a song, and I'm like, "What are you ta why? Why? Out of all the songs I've written, I've recorded, over 50 songs are out there, and you're talking about this one particular song," you know, from way back. That's great, though.
How many albums have you done?
Oh gosh. Um, full length albums, only 2, but I have a lot of EPs and a lot of singles.
Okay. I saw some of your videos. How much fun is it making a video,
Um, it's a
or
lot
not
it's
hard?
a and no, it's a lot of fun making videos. I wish I financially, I wish I could make more videos, and I'm such a perfectionist. That's why all my songs out there on YouTube, most of them are like lyric videos because it's
Mhm.
more manageable. But I'm I'm looking into doing more actual videos for my songs where my face is in them. But I like doing videos. It's just like another form of acting, you know?
Right.
And you have
Yeah. It's like
to
a mini story. You're sharing like a mini story in like 3 minutes, and you can kind of the highs and lows or whatever the emotion is of a particular song.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny because the 2 videos that are really full length official videos that aren't lyric videos, both of them are deeper songs. Like, there was one back when I was on a label back in, the mid 2000s, and I did a song called Smile Again, and we partnered with the Vanished Children's Alliance for that video. So that one's a very intense video. There's actually photos of missing children in the video, and then there was a
Oh,
hotline at the end of the video, and then, jump, I don't know, a decade to 2021 when I did another video for Doors Don't Close, and that one was a lot of fun, um, because my videographer and I, we hauled this door almost a mile into a field in Santa Barbara, California, overlooking cliffs, the ocean, and we have this door, and through the mat, and we had to, like, hammer it, get all these little plywood and everything, so where the door would stand up on its own out in this
okay.
field. And puts a new take on, standing out in the field. People used to always joke around like that, "Yeah, she's standing out in her field," or, whatever, and I'm like, "Well, how about a door standing out in a field in the middle of nowhere?" Um, that one was really fun, but it really sucked because I left my makeup and my hairspray in the car, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going back to go just retrieve my makeup." So, how I looked in the video was after trekking almost a mile in the hot sun, and I mean, it didn't look that bad, but you can
All
that's
natural.
all natural, man. You got it. Yeah. I mean, I love working with, the musicians that I've worked with, uh, my Nashville musicians, my Northwest musicians. I loved every single one of them, and there's been a couple of different formations that I have put together over the years as far as, like, the Carrie Cunningham band goes that I miss because for one reason or another, like the instrumentation or the harmonies, what have you, that were really special that I really, really loved and I miss now. But it would be nice to, if I can get all my musicians from the years, just put them back together. There's not very many because I had a good reputation with sticking with the same group of core musicians for a while.
Mhm.
So that was pretty good. But yeah, no, I'm still shooting for the stars. I'm going to shoot for the stars till they shoot back.
You never know.
That's right.
You performed over 1,000 stages. Oh, you probably sang in front of 100,000 people. Do you have any most memorable shows or venues you sang at that really stick in your brain? Like that place rocked. That was awesome.
Yeah. Um my my most fun actually was when I opened up for the rock band Collective Soul.
Mm.
Yeah, because I'm a country artist and they're rock and rollers. And it wasn't even supposed to happen. My booking agent, he was also booking Collective Soul, and they were flying in. This was actually I wasn't living in Spokane at the time, but I just happened to be over there. I was playing their fair, and Collective Soul was going to be playing the fair as well. And my booking agent comes over and he's like, "They're late. Their plane got delayed. Will you go and just like do 2 or 3 songs just to entertain the crowd?" And I'm like, "Sure, no problem." And so I grab 2 guitar players. They're in my band. I'm like, "You come over. Let's come over to um go sing a couple songs." Well, we ended up just doing an acoustic set for 45 minutes. And it was great. I mean, it was so great, and then the guys finally walked on, and I was Collective Soul's lifesaver at that particular moment. It was really quite fun, but it was great because I didn't get booed off the stage by any rock and roll diehards. They all loved it, and they were cheering, and it was really nice. So, I think that was one of my funnest ones, with the exception of, uh, getting to meet and share the stage with Duck Dynasty. That was fun.
Oh.
I was their opening act, Duck Dynasty. That was a good group of guys to be a show opener for.
And so also saw you open for Charlie Daniels, Jake Owens, and my favorite group's Diamond Rio.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, Diamond Rio was my favorite band for
oh,
the
I
longest
love that.
time. So that was a big bucket lister that I got to check off, that I got to share the stage with them.
You gotta kind of pinch yourself while you're up there going, "Is this real?"
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And, one of my mentors in Nashville, he wrote one of their biggest songs, which is Beautiful Mess. And so I always like to tie people together. I'm like, "Hey, I opened up for them." "Oh yeah, well, I wrote their song." You know?
You got a bucket list of people you'd like to sing with or collaborate with, or a bucket list of places you want to sing at?
Mm, yeah. Um, I'm still looking forward to, like, getting on the Grand Ole Opry stage. It's an
Mm.
invite only. And, um, gosh, there are a few people that I would love to write with. A few of them are songwriters that the general public don't know who they are.
Okay.
So it wouldn't even do me any good to call out the songwriters' names. I mean, I can actually. I'll do Ryan Larkin is one that I want to write with, and I would absolutely die if I had a chance to write with my fellow Washingtonians, Brandy Clark and Brandy Carlisle. I think that would be so amazing.
You never know.
I know. And hey, if you have any connections, just hook a fellow Washingtonian girl up.
I I have well, I did a co-host show yesterday. It'll be out. It was out last. Be out pretty soon. Raymond Hayden is a singer-songwriter in Gig Harbor. He's been in the industry like 45, 50 years. I'm sure he knows anyone and everyone in Washington. So I'll definitely pass on his name to you. So he's the who's who of folks.
That's awesome. That's great.
You must share about your website and what else on it, and how can people follow you as well.
Well, my website is carrielive.com. So CarrieLive.com. And my two most recent singles are out right now. They are country disco. The first country disco or the entering of my country disco era was Just Like. And then the second one was called Habit.
Mhm.
And so Habit's kind of taking over the page right now. There's some reviews on the front page and music links. And you can find me on pretty much any platform. I do a little TikTok in here and there, and Instagram and Facebook. It's all Carrie Cunningham official, and YouTube, of course. What am I missing? Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, you name it, I'm out there.
And I saw you had a song called Eggnog.
Yes, yes, yes. Eggnog is a fun, fun song. I wrote it with one of my friends, one of my co-writers, Hal Odell, and I told him I always wanted to write a Christmas song that was kind of along the lines of like something you might put in the same playlist as Stevie Wonder's Christmas songs.
Mm.
And so it's kinda got that little it's very up-tempo, Motown-ish vibe that goes on with that song. I absolutely love it. I'm surprised I ended up in the country music world with as much as I love R&B and Motown. I still ended up in country music. But
You worked a lot of great organizations. You were at Big Brothers Big Sisters, Advanced Children's Alliance, CASA, Special
mhm.
Olympics, Hope International, and Read Across America. What's it like when you're working with organizations like that are helping kids, or the organization is just helping people? What's it like for you?
Oh, it makes me so happy. I mean, it's just again, going back to my childhood, just working with organizations that help try to make children, safe
Mm.
or put food in their bellies, keep them out of harm, give them a bed to sleep on, show them love and nurture. That's really near and dear to my heart. And so I try to help out as much as I can. And I just love the fact that there's organizations out there to help children and young adults. I'm always all for helping out in that area.
And how do you get involved in that? You just kind of go online or show up, or how? What's the best way for someone to perhaps get involved in Big Brother Big Sister or something like that?
Well, the best thing to do is just reach out to them. I mean, they're always looking for volunteers, and of course, you have to go through a background check, and it depends on what what area of philanthropy you wanna do. Like, if you wanna be part of, like, Meals on Wheels and go deliver meals to elderly folks and stuff, everything has a bit of um, a background check,
Hmm.
but there's always some way that you can help out. In my opinion, there's always some way, even a reformed person in some sort can still help out in some form or fashion, depending on where your heart is at and what you want to do. I
Yeah,
think it's healthy for everybody to help out in some way, to give back to the community because that's what we're here for, right? It'd be
exactly. Yes.
pretty boring and a pretty crazy world if we were all just selfish and we only thought about ourselves.
After your shows, when you're meeting people and you're talking to people and doing autographs and kind of sharing their story a little bit, when people tell you, "Hey, that song impacted me," or "Those lyrics impacted me," what's that like for you?
Mm. Well, it feels good. It makes me feel like I'm on the right path. I have an Americana album I wrote back in 2017, and there's one song on there that it talks about domestic violence,
Mm.
and it's called Whiskey Kisses. And I remember at a show one time, excuse me, I remember at a show one time, um, I used to change up my sets, and I would put in like I'd throw in like this little bluegrass hour or set, and Whiskey Kisses would kind of fall under that because I had like a mandolin, et cetera, what have you. But
Mhm.
I started to play that song, and before I even got to the chorus, I stopped. And I told my band, I go, stop, 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 stop. I don't feel this is the right audience. I cannot go through with this song. And I apologize to the audience. I go, I'm really sorry, but there's somebody out there who is telling me that I can not sing this song today, that it's hitting
Mm,
a little too close to home.
mm,
And people are like, "Oh, wow." And so and my musicians, they're like, "Well, that's a first," you know? She just stops the song. But after the show, I literally had 2 different people come up to me. One was a man and one was a woman. And they said, "I know that song, and yeah, that's my story. And
wow.
thank you." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming up and telling me, and thank you for letting me know that, um, I'm giving you a voice." And I think that's the most important thing is being an artist and a songwriter is to give others a voice where they might not be able to speak for themselves.
When you're writing songs, does the passion of your what you've gone through really come out on paper, and your lyrics and kind of what you've been through? Because a lot of folks share experiences through their songs. Is that what you do? Also, is for the most part.
Yes and no. I'm I'm a storyteller, but I'm still working on fully being able to tap into me.
Mm,
Um, I have been I feel personally that I have been kind of like an actress all these years where I'm putting on a show, kind of letting like people hear what they want to hear. And my next album that I am working on is probably one of the most deep and personal albums I've ever put out because of the fact that I'm finally tapping in. I'm finally something's going on where I'm chipping away at this big stone wall that I've had for so many years.
mm.
Um, that I'm really I'm really, really excited because I will be able to show parts of me that nobody has ever heard me sing before.
Wow, wow. I just pictured one of those ice sculptures. It's just ice, but yeah, they chip at it, and it becomes into an angel or awesome structure. I just pictured that as your album comes out. That's awesome.
Thank you.
As we begin to wrap up, this podcast is all about encouraging others, and just you know, would you mind sharing some encouragement to someone out there who's might have faced obstacles and difficulties in life, and just some inspirational words that could help them throughout their day?
I would just I would just say to just keep going. Everything everything will turn out the way it's supposed to be. And Jelly Roll has a song out there that says it's okay or no, I'm not okay. I think that's what it's called. No, I'm not okay. And that's okay to admit that. And especially now in today's day and age where it is now with everything being focused on mental health, it is okay to talk about it.
Right.
And it's okay for people like me to express it so we can reach other people and say, "Hey, I've been there. I'm not exactly in your shoes, so I can't say that I totally understand where you're going through, but I can empathize with you because of where I was."
I
And
truly believe everyone has a story,
yeah,
and how they
absolutely.
interact, how they cross sections. You may learn from somebody a few things here and there that helped you along the way. So I just believe everyone has a story, and how you share that with the people who have been through addictions or abuse or fill in the blank of the many things that people have gone through. It could help them and encourage them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Let me know when your new music comes out. I'd love to share it on the podcast. And just thankful for the day and just meeting you and hearing your amazing story, and just
Thank
wish you
you.
nothing but the best. And you're in Washington, let me know. We'll have coffee, and I'm a coffeeaholic.
Perfect.
Thank you for the time. I wish you the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Playing a couple of Carrie songs. This is Doors Don't Close.
Standing at this front porch screen, just staring at my keys. It's different than it was before, with you not here anymore. But I'll walk right in and leave it open. In the back of my mind, I'm still hoping you'll come back if I don't close it. I fixed the lock, I've oiled the hinges, but I keep feeling that resistance to just do more, to shut this door. The frame was strong, made out of stone, but now it's breaking up my home. I tried to make it work, from the ceiling to the floor, but what do you do, oh, when doors don't close? Cold wind keeps sneaking in, there's some damage I can't fix, but I don't want anyone tonight to help me make it right. So I'll use a blanket to block the breeze and keep warm with the memories. I fixed the lock, I've oiled the hinges, but I keep feeling that resistance to just do more, to shut this door. The frame was strong, made out of stone, but now it's breaking up my home. I tried to make it work, from the ceiling to the floor, but what do you do when doors don't close? Every time I try to shut you out, you keep coming back. Just fool myself and let you back in. It's easier to hang on than to let go. It's easier to hang on than to let go. I fixed the lock, I've oiled the hinges, but I keep feeling that resistance to just do more. I can't shut this door. The frame was strong, made out of stone, but now it's breaking up my home. I tried to make it work, from the ceiling to the floor, but
Throughout this episode, you'll be hearing small promotions for locally owned businesses that are my sponsors of this podcast. I am thankful for each and every one of them. Enjoy. When I say donuts, what comes to mind? Those donuts sitting on a shelf for a week and a half, small and wrinkly. No. Lone Star Donuts are Texas-style donuts. But you know what? We're in Washington State, and there's 3 locations with nearly 50 flavors. Silverdale, Washington, at 360-204-5021. Port Orchard, Washington, 360-443-2600. And in Poulsbo, Washington, 360-626-1164. And I said nearly 50 flavors of donuts and kolaches. Ever had one? So you might get one. They're delicious. They're Texas-style donuts, so they're huge, homemade, locally owned and operated business. Great tasting donuts. Get some today. For you, for your friends, your family, for your co-workers. Lone Star Donuts. Great tasting donuts around. And you know what? You can't buy happiness, but you can buy donuts. That's pretty much close to the same thing, right? Lone Star Donuts in Kitsap County. Silverdale, Port Orchard, and Poulsbo. Check them out today. What do you get when you're a single mom that has a vision to a blooming full-time business? You go for it. That's what Amanda Zobrist has done. She has started the Dandelion Sticker Company. She has a knack to create almost anything. At the Dandelion Sticker Company, she can create tumblers, stickers, t-shirts, and much, much more. From little sizes to big sizes to really big sizes, she wants to make your vision a reality. Working with small businesses is her compassion in her community that allows her to make a meaningful impact on a local level. Looking for business to help you promote your business? Check out Dandelion Sticker Company. Her high-quality stickers are perfect for your products, advertising your services, and getting your business out there for the world to see. I'm so excited that we Chit and Chat Encouraging One Another podcast will be working with the Dandelion Sticker Company to create merchandise to sell in the future. Please reach out and let us know what you might be interested in. Got some ideas that you want created for your business or personal use? Check out dandelionsticker.com. Dandelion Stickers is locally owned and operated in Silverdale, Washington, but you reach her easily by emailing dandelionsticker.co@gmail.com. You can also find her on Facebook too. Make your vision a reality with the Dandelion Sticker Company today. Next song I'm playing is a brand new song by my good friend Rocky Michaels. It's called Heroes.
Some come from Gotham City, some come from other places far and long ago. Some in disguise with their mask covering their eyes, wielding their power against the foe. When the movie ends and we're back to real life again, the curtains they are pulled way back to show. Heroes, they just don't live in a world of make-believe. They're all around and people we all know. They're the doctors and nurses who help us all to live. Those in the service who serve to defend. They're the teachers who teach and caregivers who care. And all the do good is doing good everywhere. They're everyday people in everyday places. No fancy names, go about their business just the same. Even when the crowd has gone, they often don't hear the recognition and cheer. Oh, yet they still carry on. They're the doctors and nurses who help us all to live. Those in the service who serve to defend. They're the teachers who teach and caregivers who care. Oh, they're doing good everywhere. They're everyday people in everyday places to see. Oh, here's to the heroes, yeah. Here's to the heroes. For all that you do, here's a special here's to you. Oh, you're our heroes. To the doctors and nurses who help us all to mend. Those in the service who serve to defend. To the farmers who farm so everyone can be. Emergency personnel for those in need. To the parents waking early and putting in 12, just so the kids can have food there on their shelves. You're the hero. The average Joes and the plain Janes too. Rise up above, help me and you. We're everyday people in everyday places to see. Oh, yes, to the heroes. You're average Joes, plain Janes too. Whoa, it's to the heroes, yeah.
What do you get when you combine a brick oven, some homemade sauces, hand-breaded JoJo's, hand-breaded chicken, homemade dough, all in one place? You will find some of the best tasting food in Kitsap County. I'm talking about Chico Chicken and Pizza. Their menu ranges from all kinds of pizzas and specialty subs. They have some really good chicken meal deals for the family and great tasting sides. And their chicken is not your normal run the chicken. No. They don't throw the chicken in some fryer and call it good. Their chicken is brined, breaded, pressure fried, and prepared in a classic brine. They season it to perfection. Then they pressure fry it to a delicious golden brown to deliver the best tasting chicken in town. Some of the great sides they have are baked macaroni and cheese, with JoJo's like bacon and cheddar and garlic and parmesan, as well as baked beans and potato salad. Everything is made with the freshest ingredients every day. They are locally owned and operated, so why not give Chico Chicken and Pizza a call today and place your order at 360-550-4041 or their website at chicochickenandpizza.com. They are also located at 2165 Irvins Point Road in Normanton, and they're open from noon to 10 p.m. every day. That's Chico Chicken and Pizza. Eat well, eat local. The next song I'm playing is by a singer-songwriter down from Arkansas, from my old stomping grounds. Had a chance with him to talk with him on a video chat, getting him on the show here sometime pretty soon. He has a brand new album coming out, and this is one of his songs called Average Hillbilly. This is Justin Sexton.
27 miles of dirt roads across 4 valleys and 6 hills. 3 creeks fork together at 100-gallon copper still. Way back in them deep woods, somewhere in the moonshine no reminder of hard times and long days. With all the songs about Hank, I'm beginning to think that you can live in the city and call it hillbilly. Ain't no shame to giddy up your game. You gotta get your boots gritty to call it hillbilly. Cause where we're from, while this muscadine, you want hillbilly fun, try making the wine. Don't mind me, I'm just 100 proof king, proud to be your average hillbilly. Your average hillbilly. Working out back in them deep woods, the shine fire is hot as hell. You don't need to join no gym when you're out here sweating pills. Working out back in them deep woods, a man plays for all his states. You know how to fold or you won't die old, cause Copper Mountain's got its way. With all the songs about Hank, I'm beginning to think that you can live in the city and call it hillbilly. Ain't no shame to giddy up your game. You gotta get your boots gritty to call it hillbilly. Cause where we're from, while this muscadine, you want hillbilly fun, try making the wine. Don't mind me, I'm just 100 proof king, proud to be your average hillbilly. Your average hillbilly. Yeah, yeah. With all the songs about Hank, I'm beginning to think that you can live in the city, call it hillbilly. Ain't no shame to giddy up your game. You gotta get your boots gritty, call it hillbilly. It's where we're from, while this muscadine, you want hillbilly fun, try making the wine. Don't mind me, I'm just 100 proof king, proud to be your average hillbilly.
This is Chit and Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast. That's all it's about, encouraging others.